Hi guys, welcome back to our channel again. In the past few videos, we saw how to develop this type of script. We created on a script which was very simple. It was actually opening Chrome browser, and then after that it is going to google.com, this website. But you can put any of the website name over there. Okay, so in this video, we will see how we can organize our code more efficiently. In our real life, this is only one script we executed, right? But in our real life, there might be like few hundreds to few thousands of test scenario. Okay, so every time if we try to do this way, then that code will not be organized, and in future if there is any problem or any bug, if we need to change or if we need to fix something, then it is a big headache at that time. So we need to organize our code. So how we can organize our code? We can organize our code by using class and methods all together. Okay, but before going to this thing, I want to mention you one thing. This tutorial I am using PyCharm and Mac environment, but these steps, I mean the format of this code will be similar to every other environment. In the previous videos we showed you how each code looks like and what are the changes. So if you still don't know, just watch those videos, it will be very clear. Okay, so here only one part is different actually for all browsers and environment, that is this part, okay, which I explained very clearly in other videos. Please check those if you still have any question or problem of this part. Okay, now let's get started. So in real life, I just told you that we need to define this whole thing inside a class and functions. So here we will define on class. So let me type something. Class, actually we'll use class plus method or function. Method or function. So tion, this is function. Okay, so we'll use this thing. Okay, so based on that we will format this code. So here we have only 3 lines code, but you might think this is not necessary, but I will say it is necessary, because if you ignore now, then in future when you will try to do this thing, you will feel that it is a time consuming or you are getting error or lots of things. At the time you will feel bad. So why not you try to mimic the concept or organize your code at the beginning. The code organization of this tutorial which I'll show you, this is actually followed by most of the companies. Okay, if that they develop some type of framework, they definitely have to use this type of concept. Okay, so let's get started. I'm not interested to too much talking about the benefit of that. When we'll actually face couple of scenarios, then we'll understand by ourselves that it's really required. Okay, so let's get started. So at first we need to define a class. So in Python, for definition of any class, it starts with the class keyword. So I have to type the class keyword. Okay, then after that what we have to do, we have to type the class name. Suppose for example this test scenario, we want to type a class name like RunTestClass. I'm just typing a class name, and after that there will be colon. Okay, so this is the simple definition of class, and in Python class name starts with class keyword, and then we have to put a space, and after that the name of the class. So for this case the class name is something like that, but the beginning letter of each class name, it should be capital. Okay, so here the name is run test class and I put capital R. And in Python you can also type class name like each word capital, like this way. It will be easier to understand the name of the class. Then after that we have to put a colon sign. Once you define the class, you need to define the methods or functions, so which I mentioned here, class plus method or function. Okay, so just press enter and you see it starts like some space. That means it starts couple of indentation. Okay, in Python this is very much important. Don't start from there. So we know that for Python, after defining class, if you want to define one method or two methods or any number of methods, we have to put a tab. That means for space, this indentation matter, and then type the method name. Suppose our method name is like test method, and in Python method name is starts with def keyword, or function name, it starts with def keyword. Def means definition, and then we have to type the method name. So suppose our method name is test method. Okay, so I just type test method and then I define this def keyword. So in this way we have to write the function name, and inside it there will be self keyword. I'm not going to explain too much detail right now. Just remember this thing. We in future when we'll watch more videos, then the concept will be clear. For now, just think like this way. This is a class, and inside this there is a method. This method name is like test method. Okay, def test method, and then inside the parenthesis there will be self and colon. Then after that we have to define the expression for this method. So there are two lines. Okay, so we'll put under this line. So here, see, previously I told you in Python indentation matter. Okay, so here for a space or on tab. So to define or for this expression, for the expression of this method, there should be like two tab. Okay, so in this way, so our line is just from here to there. Okay, so what I am going to do, I'm indenting my lines of code which we wrote previously. Okay, so now it is formatted clearly, right? So this is a class and this is a method. Okay, and method name, it starts with tab, and the method definition, that means inside the method all the expression should be two tabs. Okay, this is very important, and you might get this type of like warning, this thing. Okay, so if you are using PyCharm, then if you put your cursor and then if you click your cursor inside anywhere in this line, and then there will be a light like thing. Okay, then what you can do, you can press this arrow button and then it will show you reformat file. So it will reformat your file and the error will be gone. Okay, so in this way you can fix. So for PyCharm it is two space, not two line space. Okay, to format the class name. Okay, in this way you can format. But if you are using Visual Studio Code, if you use AutoPep 8, then it will format automatically. Okay, now let's come here. So we defined our class name and we also defined our method. Now we need to create an object of this class. To create an object, we have to call this method. Like we have in Python, sometimes if you are Java, coming from Java background somewhere, like object-oriented concept, you hear the term like constructor. So in Python here, we have to do something like that. So we are creating an object. Suppose the object name is obj. Okay, and then we have to call this class. The class name is run test class. Okay, and then just type this parenthesis. Okay, so it will create an object, and after that what we have to do, we have to call this method. So we can call this method by typing object dot then the class name test method. Okay, done. So in this way actually we can organize our code very easily. So still we are not organized, there is something here and here. Okay, we can also define those things. So for that case, what we can do, we can create some variable, right? Suppose this is the URL, right? We can type on variable base URL, and inside it we can define this variable, this string. Okay, so I'm going to cut this thing and then I'm putting it here, and then here I will call base URL. So I formatted our code more nicely so that in future if we need to modify, we can modify from there. Okay, and we are seeing that there is some warning again. So if we press enter, then the warning will go. I told you that before class there will be two empty line. Okay, now here also we can also do like drive. This thing we can put another variable. Okay, so we can do one thing like location chromedriver. Okay, we can put another variable and then we can also remove this part to there. Okay, basically we are organizing our code more nicely and more professionally. Okay, so in this way we can do this thing, and here we can call that thing like, what is the name, location chromedriver. Okay, now our code looks very nice, right? So here before defining classes, what we did, we created two variables. One is base URL, that means the website which we want to go, and the another is location chromedriver, the location of chromedriver, it is in this location. And here we defined the class name in this way, and then finally we are calling this way. Okay, so our code is organized, and this is comment we can delete, we don't need this thing. Okay, and then what we can do, we can run this script. To run this script, we can right click and then we can run chromedriver, this one, or we can press this triangle green thing. So I'm going to right click and then I'm going to choose this button, this option actually, to run this thing, and it will run the script very soon. Now see, here it opened and Google Chrome opened and closed, right? So we just saw that Chrome browser opened and it closed automatically, and in the console it showed process finished with exit code 0. That means there is no error, but we are unable to see the Chrome browser, right? So what is the reason behind that? The reason behind that, Chrome driver or Chrome browser or something like this is designed in that way that once it is finished it will automatically close. But if you are using other browser like Firefox, then Firefox will not close. Okay, but for case Chrome, it closes automatically because it is designed in this way. Chrome browser is designed by or developed by one company, right? And Firefox is designed by other company, so it might differ, right? That's why don't be panic. So this is the policy of chromedriver, that once it finished, Python will automatically close the instance of Chrome browser. Okay, so if you want to keep our browser open, we can also do one thing. We can use like we can actually pause the browser for a few seconds. Okay, so what we can do, we can do one thing. We can use time. We can import time class, right? Import time, and here in the time we can tell driver time dot, there is a method sleep. Okay, inside sleep we can tell that just wait 10 seconds, and after that close the browser, right? We can also do this thing, so we don't need to define like driver dot quite, we don't need to define. Okay, if we don't define, actually Chrome browser will exit automatically. But let's see what is happening. So here what we did, in the method we defined another two line, time.sleep, which will wait Chrome 10 seconds, and after that it will close. Okay, if we don't type it, still it will close. Let's show you first. Okay, so here I commented that line, and then I'm going to run this thing. This time I'm going to run from this triangle. I just clicked over there, and then Chrome browser will open, and see now Chrome browser is not closing. Okay, it went Google fine very nicely, and I told you after 10 seconds it will close. Just wait 10 seconds. Yes, after 10 seconds, see, it closed, right? So in this way we can actually halt Chrome browser for particular number of seconds or minutes. Okay, and if we still put this thing, it will work the same way. So now let's make it 5 seconds, so it will be faster, right? Instead of waiting 10 seconds, because you know the logic now, right? That is the design concept, that Chrome is designed that way. Once Python executed all the code, then the browser will be closed automatically. Now let's try it. I'm clicking there, and then it will open, and now wait 5 seconds, and after 5 seconds it will be closed automatically, right? So I think yes, done. So in this way you can also do this thing. So this line, if you define or not, it's not important right now, but in future we'll see that we'll also use this thing, and definitely we'll use some framework, and over there we'll control this timing. But now, for now, to check, you can also put something like that, like 10 seconds or 5 seconds, something, just to make sure, something like that. In this way you can actually do that, and then I deleted that line because we don't need. Okay, so in this way we can organize our code. So I think you're pretty clear. In this tutorial we just showed you how to organize our code. We can organize our code by using class and method. Okay, and also inside the function or method there are a couple of strings we used previously. Now what we did, we created another two variables, baseUrl and location ChromeDriver. Okay, and in Python, the strings are defined like this way, right? One quote, beginning and end, but you can use double quote. But if you want to use single quote in your whole program, always use single quote. And if you want to use double quote, then use everywhere in your program. Okay, so this URL is a string. That's why we put base URL and inverted single inverted comma. Okay, a single quote or something like that. Okay, and then location of ChromeDriver, this is also a string which actually showed us what is the ChromeDriver location. And then finally we define on class and on method. The class name is RunTestClass, and this class name can be anything, but it starts with capital. And then the function name, the function name, it starts with def keyword and then a small character, and then the regular name, and there will be a self inside the method. And then after that we used our old code, but here we actually replaced with the variable. And finally what we are doing, we are actually creating an object of this class, and after that we are calling the function of that class. and finally we execute it, and after executing we saw that it is executing Google Chrome browser, and it is going to this website google.com. And after that, after if we put 10 seconds sleep, it is waiting 10 seconds. After that it is closing the browser. So in this way we can actually organize our code. I believe that you learned how to organize the code very nicely, and I try to follow this concept from the beginning, because in future we have lots of test scenario we need to do. But if you don't follow now, then in future it will be really complicated for you. But if you start now, then as long as you are doing this type of tutorial or to test this type of code, it will be very efficient and convenient for you. Okay, you'll feel very comfort. For this time it might be difficult for you for the first time, but trust me, just start doing this practice now. In future you will feel how easy it is. At the time you will not feel any pressure. Okay, so just try to run or mimic this way, that we have to define on class, and inside the class we have to define the method name, and inside method name we will do everything. Okay, and then what we will do, we'll call the method. But before calling the method, what we have to do, we have to create the object. We are defining the object. That means we are creating an object from that class by typing the class name and like empty parenthesis, and then after that we are calling the method name to execute that thing. Okay, so thank you guys for watching this video. I think this is too much for you for the beginning, because I use this type of thing, but again I am telling you, it will help you if you try now in future. Okay, it will really help you. It will be very useful for you in future. Just try to mimic, but what I am planning to do for all my tutors, I'll follow this concept so that it will be easier for you. Okay, and from couple of videos I will use PyCharm, couple of videos I will use Visual Studio Code, just to mix match and just to show you that it's working. Okay, every time, most of the time I will stuck PyCharm or Visual Studio Code, but I will not use any other editor. I will switch between these two editor IDE, that means Visual Studio Code and PyCharm. But I just want to show you how all the things will be the same for both of the environment. Okay, and only this part will be changeable, and it is changing because of the environment to environment, which I showed you the other videos. If you wish, you can check those things and it will be very clear. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this video will be helpful for you to understand the first basic concept, how to organize your code. And if you feel this video is useful, please hit the like button, and if you still didn't subscribe, just subscribe to our channel, and share with your friends, and also don't forget to comment. Thank you for watching. See you on the next video.